Hi and welcome. My name is Freya Watson, and I'm going to spend just a few moments briefly explaining what authentic relating is all about. Hopefully, to give you a sense, if you're new to the term, of what it is, what you might expect if you're planning on participating on an authentic relating program or workshop. And also, just to give you a sense of some of the territory into which you will travel if you choose to commit yourself to authentically relating in this world. At its most basic, authentic relating is exactly what it says. It's about relating or connecting with the world from a place of authenticity. It can be about how you connect with your lover, it can be about how you connect with a spouse, assuming they might be two different things, they might be the same. It can be about how you connect with your work colleagues, your friends, your family, the world in general. It's not necessarily just for people in intimate relationships. It is a way of living. It's a way of connecting with the larger world. Um, so if you're thinking of participating and you don't have somebody in your life at the moment, or you're hoping to have somebody in your life in the future, don't think that it's not for you, because it is just a way of life. But obviously, for those in intimate relationships at the moment, it is a way of deepening those. It's a way of bringing through the deeper essence of ourselves into our intimate connections with others. It can be a way of great healing and great maturing for people who are in relationships and aren't possibly as happy with them as they'd like to be. Um, so, I mean, if we look at just at the simple two words that we have there, authentic, relating, to be able to connect authentically with the world means that you have to have a sense of who you are. Who is your authentic self? Who am I at my heart? Who am I without all the masks that I choose to wear to the world? And no matter how authentic we think we're being in the world, we have all been conditioned to a huge extent. It's just part of growing up in a modern world. We're educated within systems that have standards and norms and expectations associated with them. We have parents that have raised us possibly with all of the best intentions, but with an eye to us fitting in with the world around us. So, from a very, very early age, we're taught to normalize ourselves. We're taught that, certain aspects of our personality and our behavior is more acceptable than others. And therefore, we go through a process of repressing parts of ourselves that either we're uncomfortable with or those around us are uncomfortable with, and they disappear into the shadows. And we bring out the sides of ourselves that we feel are more acceptable to the world at large. And then we don different masks as well so that we fit in. We start in the work world perhaps, and we put on the mask of work. And along with that mask of work goes a particular set of clothing. So I dress this way for work. Perhaps I even eat and drink in a particular way to fit in at work. Latte in the hand, the phone to the ear. Whatever it happens to be, that there's a code that tends to go along with these masks. So, if I don the mask for the office, I might behave in a particular way. I might use certain language. I might eat certain things. I might have certain opinions that belong with that mask. And then I might take that mask off, and on a Saturday morning I might put on another one, which is the one that I present to the mates or to the friends or to the family. If you're a parent, that's also donning a role. It's part of who you are, but it's not your essence. Being a parent is something that you do. It's not the essence of who you are. So behind all these things that we do and all these roles that we play, there is something else. Some people might call it soul, other people call it your essence, your heart, whatever you want to call it, your true personality. But there is an authentic self behind all these, behind even your name. If you can imagine leaving your name to one side and saying, I'm not Freya. Who am I? you know? I'm not even necessarily a woman, that's my body, but is that really who I am? So behind all of these things that the outer world sees and other people see, there is something else. There's an essence, a core of who we are. So when we want to relate authentically with the world or with another person, we have to tap into that core of who we are. We have to be comfortable finding some sense of who we are outside of all these roles that we adopt. And then, once we can do that, we have to be comfortable with looking at who other people are. So instead of relating mask to mask or role to role, which is what we do most of the time, we're trying to relate person to person. We're trying to look at somebody, and somewhere deep and down inside, we're saying, I see you. Can you see me? I don't know who you are. I can see that you're a man, you're a woman, you're 20, 30, 40, you're smart, you're hippie, you're laid back, whatever. You're all these other labels that we use and the language that we use to try and pigeonhole people so that we can kind of understand them actually sometimes takes away from our understanding of really who they are. So authentic relating is about connecting from the essence of who we are and trying to connect with the essence of other people. So you can be in a conversation with a work colleague over budgets, for example, and you've got the spreadsheets all over the desk, and somewhere below all that conversation, there's a deeper layer of connection, which is, we're both human beings sharing a common humanity. It may not be relevant to mention it right now. It may not be relevant to the conversation we're having. But you're making a connection at that level. Recognizing that there's more to your connection with other people than simply, office person to office person, manager to manager, mother to mother, parent to parent. And you carry this authenticity with you through the day, and it makes life richer. It makes your experiences richer. And it gives you that sense too of being able to connect on a deep level and have others connect with you on a deep level. So, whatever brought you here today, whether it was simple curiosity, whether it was the fact that you've heard the term authentic relating before and you're wondering what it was, authentically relating means being able to see who you are and being able to see who other people are behind the masks. It doesn't mean that the masks aren't relevant, that they're not valid. It can be fun to play different roles. We all like to do it. It helps us to get to know who we are by trying on different things, Some of them fit, some of them don't fit. And we get to know something about ourselves as we try on these different masks. But we have to remember that there is much more to us than those masks. And it is very easy to forget, and to end up in a situation where we just think that's all we are. We are a mother. We are a worker. We are a manager. We are whatever role we choose to define ourselves by. And when we forget that there's more to us, that's when life starts to get a bit stale, or we feel like we're not being seen or acknowledged properly. So by coming back to a place where we start to relate more authentically to the world, we start to open ourselves up to other people seeing us as well, So one of the other things that we come across when we start the process of authentically relating is fear. Because as you open yourself up to the world and you say, this is me, look at me, this is who I really am. I'm not sure how I describe myself. I'm not sure what box I fit into, if any. Or maybe I fit into 2 or 3 boxes, but sometimes I'm sort of sprawled between them. But look at me, this is who I am. And that can be a scary and vulnerable thing to do. Because, it's one thing somebody taking a pot shot at you, criticizing your mask, because at least you're sort of hiding behind and go, aha, that's not really who I am. They haven't really got me. They fit the mask, but they haven't hit me. But when you're allowing people to see who you are, you really are laying yourself wide open, which is a vulnerable place to be, because you can be hurt, but you can also be loved. And that is the deep yearning that people have, to be truly loved, to have someone connect with them, soul to soul, heart to heart, to be seen, and acknowledged for who they are. It's that deeper yearning, I think, that brings people to authentic relating. You know, I think many of us who come to authentic relating, whether consciously or unconsciously, come to it from dissatisfaction with the way we've been living, dissatisfaction with what we've been getting from the world, or even hurt and pain, you know, of not having been loved properly. I mean, how many people in this world have been loved, really loved properly? And in order to be loved, you have to be seen. So there's chicken and egg here, you know. If you know, if I'm not willing to allow myself to be seen, well, how is somebody going to really connect with me? But on the other hand, if I allow myself to be really seen, then I can be hurt. So, you know, there's always an element of fear there. So if you're considering being part of an authentic relating program, or you want to take it further, it does help to have others around you that are similarly willing to open up. You know, there's a comfort and a safety, I guess, in numbers, but not just that. There's also a comfort in meeting other people who are dealing with the same issues of trying to relate authentically in a world which isn't all that authentic. You know, so it's a process of self-discovery, of discovering others, of dealing with the fear that comes up, and also dealing with that immense joy of making deep connections with other people, of making meaningful contact with the world. And in a nutshell, that's what you're looking at when you're looking at authentic relating. It is that heart-to-heart, person-to-person contact, which goes above and beyond any roles or masks that we wear. So thank you for stopping by. Hopefully that's given you some indication of what this is about. And bon voyage. Happy journey with it.